Hi everyone, this is Eligibility. Today we will learn about how to combine multiple Excel files by using the Python and Pandas. Let me give you a business scenario. Think you are an HR manager. Your task is to create a promotion eligibility list from multiple Excel files. This task is tedious, but if you have the right approach, we can do it quickly and easily. Let me show you how we can do this. This is our demo content. Introduction to the project, combining multiple Excel file sections, handling unique headers, filtering required columns, date conversion, and calculation. After that, promotion eligibility update. Once done, export the combined output file. Let us see introduction to the project. This is an overview. The objective of this process is to combine multiple Excel files into a single dataset while ensuring that unique headers are maintained, and this is essential for data analysis and reporting. This will help us to provide a clear, concise view on the information content with various files. And why it is important unique headers? You already understand that to maintain the data consistency, and it will be easy and useful for the data manipulation. Ensure that header should not be repeated after the combining process is completed and in the final output. And so for this starting this process, these are all the required tools and sample data. First, the system should be installed with the Python and Pandas library should be available. If Pandas library is not available, we can use the pip command and install this necessary library. Also for the training purposes, I can suggest you people to use either Anaconda distribution or PyCharm. Those are all the free community editions we have, and it will come with a lot of the libraries. And if you see here below is the sample data file. So all these data files have the same headers and same column with the first name, last name, email, gender, department, date of joining, last promotion, and address. From here, we need only the first name, last name, department, date of joining, last promotion. Now in this section, we'll see how to combine multiple Excel files and what are the important points we need to consider. And before combining Excel file, we need to ensure that all files should have the same structure, same column. If it doesn't have the same columns or same structure, so the final output will not generate properly and it will be mislead the data. Once all the files are combined, like gathered, keep it in a separate folder. Here in our process, I kept in a dataset folder all the required files. And this is the initial code. First, we need to import the required libraries such as Pandas by using import Pandas as PD. PD is nothing but the alias we have given. So we can use the PD dot function. The same way, import a date and time for date and time converting the date join, and import OS function to navigate between the files and folders and directories in the system. After that, we added folder path a variable and updated with the folder name. So if you have separate folder structure or folder name, right, you need to update instead of dataset with that path name. Along with that, so we initialize two variables. One is the data frames and another one is file row count. Data frames we can use for combining the files, and file row count will be get each and every file how many records, and at the time final, right, we'll check the total file row count with the combined data. So whether both are matching, that means the script is executed properly and all the data is there. If not, we need to go back and check where is the issue. Now next, we'll see the next step. In this next step, this is the code for combining files, right? So here added that use the for loop along with that OS, the imported library, and the, in the directory. So we give in the dataset folder, right? So from the dataset folder, it will be go and it will check here. So it can be various different type of file structure also. But here in the dataset folder, we just need only Excel workbook. That too, that XLSX, the latest version. So for this, to add it if condition to check the extension. If it is a .xlsx files, then do the next process. The next process is join the files and read the Excel file. So PD, what we mentioned, right? PD is earlier. DF is nothing but the data frame. So we created a data frame with the file. So it will be open one by one file automatically and it will append into the data frame. And if you see here, file row counts data frame. So this file row counts also will be append as a list. And once the process is completed, we'll export this into the final output file. In the next step, if you see here, combine all data frames. The combined DF is the created one and PD concat. So all the data frames which is created in that, right? So we appended here and ignore index is true. So we are ignoring that index. So index will not be populated because if you are working with the data frame set, automatically it will create an index column. But for our process, it is not required. We no need any index column. And here also combined row count. So all the row counts also combined into a single structure. Now we'll see how to handle unique headers. And first we'll understand what is the importance of the unique header. Unique headers, as we discussed earlier, for the data consistency and it should not be any overlap and it should not give you any error while doing the process. And so these are all the common pitfalls to avoid. If you see, so be cautious. What are the header names and format should be remain and you should not duplicate. Why? Because right, so sometimes I can see address. If you see right, address 1, address 2, address 3 will be there. What if we keep address column? One column is address, same duplicate column is address, but different data. But the Pandas data frames will be confused. Which one? If you say DF address, it will be confused. To avoid all those such kind of the problems, we need to keep unique headers. For each column should have unique name only. Next, we'll see the code. This is the code for unique header. So here we created a variable called as headers. Is it combined DF? Combined DF is nothing but the combined data set, data frame, and by use iloc and 0. So iloc function will be useful in the pandas to get the row indexes. And here, after that, created combined DF and applied the lambda function to make the headers are unique and it should not be repeat. Now, next we'll see the code and we'll see the importance of filtering required column. So first we need to identify the needed data. So in real time, right, so we face lots of problems sometimes. Like for some of the tables and structures, we have many thousands of records with hundreds of columns. But for some cases, right, so based on the process, we need only 10 columns or 20 columns. It depends on the process. So why we need rest of the 80 columns? When we load all the columns, not necessary unnecessary columns also, it will impact on the storage side, even though it will be impact on the process, like execution of the code. To eliminate that, to optimize the process and to save the execution time, to make the data smoother, we can apply the filter and take only the required columns from the combined data source. So as we shared earlier, how many columns we have? First name is there, last name, gender, email ID, date of joining, promotion, and address. From here, now we are taking only first name, last name, date of joining, last promotion date, and department. Next, we'll see the code. Here, if you see here, so just create the variable, like a list variable, columns to keep, add the first name, last name, date of joining, last promotion, department. And we created separate data frame. Because if you see here, the combined DF contains all the columns. But in the filter DF, if you keep this combined DF, like from the combined DF, we need only this column. So only those columns information will be separated and stored into the filter DF data frame. Right. Now, after that, I don't want to show you the first name and last name as separate column. So for this, so just created a new name column. If you see here, filter DF name by concatenating first name space last name. After that, so we already have the name column. No need for the first name and last name. So using the drop function and remove this column. So now the filter DF column will be name, date of joining, last promotion, and department. Now, this is the next section. The next section is converting the date of joining into proper date format. Last promotion also is the date format. So we'll convert the both. After the conversion, we'll do the calculation, like getting the months. So date format, right? So while you are working with the data set, ensure that especially the dates or sometimes integers or string, you need to identify which columns, what type of the data type it should be. Otherwise, if you are going to do the manipulation, like for example, from the today's date, if it is in the string format, if you try to use the year function to extract the year, like 2024 to today is 2024, it is difficult and it will give you error. So before extracting or before doing these date operations, right, we first convert the column into proper date required date format, and then apply the operations. And these are all the common date format. In general, MM is nothing but month, date, and year. Sometimes dd/mm/4y also. We need to be ensure this. It depends on the region wise. So based on our process, whether the data is correct or not, If it is not correct, we need to convert into the proper format for data consistency. Now let's dig into the code. Now see here. So first joining date. So if you see here in the main source file, we have the date of joining column. Now I'm just making as a proper format like joining date. So it can be easy to understand. So I'm just creating a new column joining date, and at that time automatically converting to date and time format. So date of joining column will be converted to date and time format and then updated to a new column called as joining date. Same way did for the last promotion. So it will create a new joining date and last promotion date. Now we already created the date format. Then what is the use of date of joining and last promotion? Right? It is not required. Again, use the drop function to remove those two columns. Once the columns are removed, now we have the proper columns like name, joining date, last promotion date, and department. Now, to make the consistency, right? So every column will make as a title case. Like when you use this title case, right? So automatically the column, so the column name, first word will be capital letter. Rest of the columns will be lowercase letters. This is for data consistency. Now, we'll see the next step. In this slide, we'll see how to calculate date. So what is the, we need to check how many months from today, right? That's why I have taken one variable today and use the date and time. Date and time that now will give you today's system date. Ensure that this is also sometimes like different types time zones, right? So time zones, ETC, GMT, so the time will be different. We need to ensure whether it is proper time or not. And after that, so filter DF. Here, if you see here, months since last promotion. This is the new column which we are creating by applying this business logic. Like what are the DF rate, the last promotion date. Apply. So extracting year and applying the month. So extracting from today with the last promotion date, the same way, today month minus month, so that it will give you the final is count as an integer. For example, it's like 12, 15 or 18. So we are going to apply the business logic like whether they are a promotion eligibility or not based on this column. What is the column name? Month since last promotion. Let us see the next section. Now, here is promotion eligibility update section. So, to define the eligible versus not eligible as per the business, the employee should be 18 months in the system. If the system is nothing but organization. If he is more than 18 months service, he is eligible for promotion. Let's dig into the code. See here, the code, same thing, the promotion eligibility. This is also new column we are creating into the filtered DF data frame. So what we are creating at the column is month since last promotion. So this is the one we have created in the previous step. So it will give you an integer. And what we are applying by using the lambda function. So when you use the lambda function, right, automatically we can apply for multiple rows. And eligible if x, if is x greater than 18, eligible, else not eligible. So it will update either eligible or not eligible as a string format. Right. Now the final section is outputs. Right. The outputs are, so departments, the output file contains all the data, combined data, along with that summary. In the summary worksheet, we are going to update department wise aggregated data. That means to say IT department, how many people are there, how many are eligible for the promotion. And also we can see one more worksheet which contains each and every individual file number of records as well as the combined file number of records. So we can easily check this combined file records equal to all the other files. If both are matching, that means to say our process is successfully executed. Let's see the code. So for the department wise aggregations, right, created a department aggregation section, and this department aggregation is a data frame. So what we are doing here, from the filter DF, we are just group by. Group by is a function for grouping a data based on a column. So what is our column? A department. And what is that grouping option? Promotion eligibility. So it will be give you eligible value and not eligible value. And if nothing is there, automatically it will fill the value with 0. Now here, this is the final data export code. So as discussed, output path. So I kept dataset slash. This is the file name. Combined data with summary.xlsx. This is the final file which is going to create. And here, by using accelerate option, so I am creating multiple worksheets in the same file. One is the summary, one is the combined data, and another one is file record. You see here, sheet name combined data. All the combined data will be combined data means like the data frame. Combined data frame will be stored here. Whatever the aggregation created in the previous step will be the data will be updated in the summary worksheet. And the same way, this row count summary, right? So the row count summary will be updated in the file row count. And the final line is, so once the file is created, it will be show you the output path. Now we have seen the necessary step and sample code. Now let's combine everything, put together into a single Jupyter notebook file and run and see the output. So these are all Excel files which we are going to combine into a single and creating a promotion eligibility. See here, the file names are different. It is not in a standard structure. But no worries. We already checking only the extension of the file, like the workbook. So we no need to worry about how it is going to capture. It will be capture automatically file name, whether it is matches with the .xlsx file, and create the combine. Right. Now I kept all the code which we have seen in the presentation and kept here. So this is the Pandas libraries and the date and time import.os. OS is nothing but operating system. So if you want to work with any files, directories, copy and paste operations, we can use the OS. And this is the folder path dataset and dataset. All this is the same code, right? So I kept everything here. So when you install Anaconda distribution, so Jupyter will come automatically. So it is like web-based. You can play with that. If you want more extensible, you can use the Python. Now after this, right, I'm just clicking on the run. The file is executed with some warnings, but the finally combined file is created here. Now let's open this file and see. See here. This is the new file which is created. This is all the combined data, department, name, joining date, last promotion, since last promotion, and the promotion eligibility. 2 are not. Simply by using the Excel filter, we can see whether the code executed properly or not. How? Filter here, just if it is greater than 18, then I'll update as eligible, otherwise not eligible. Now see, when I kept is greater than 18, see here, all are eligible. Even if you select this not eligible and see, yeah, the code is perfect and perfectly executed. And see the summary here. Department wise, how many employees are eligible, how many are not eligible. You can see here. And the final file record. If you see here, file record, these are all the files. Data employees, C data, all these are the files. And this is the command file. You see the row count. Excluding this, just select the thing. See here, 2000. And the command file is 2000. So all the record copied into the command file without any issue, and it created the promotion eligibility list finally.